Hello, in this short video I'll be discussing how I use geometry nodes, the new simulation node in this short animation here. So the main focus of this is to look into like these particle simulations, which is very unique and unusual. Something very hard to do using the default particle node simulation that we have. So I'll be talking about a couple things here. I'll be also talking about a channel that I have looked at. So at the beginning, this is just my default setup for setting up the scene for this sort of thing. So here I just got some basic shapes, a plane and a sphere, and trying to create some sort of area. So the main focus here is to make sure everything is simple and somewhat unique. So here I'm trying to get these curved faces. I've done that by adding a simple deform modifier onto the sphere. And the channel that I copy the geometry node from is Chong 3D. He has a very detailed tutorial video on his channel, which I have a link down in the description. But basically, the way it works is you simulate the displacement of particles or points onto an object that you select. So the way I did it, I had this like curved area that I wanted particles to emit from. Now you can basically choose a direction and the speed at which you want them to go. But the main difference here is to the original particle simulations, which we've been using in Blender, is that you can add a noise texture or a Musgrave texture to influence the direction of these particles. So this creates like this some sort of unique movement of particles, which is very difficult to create using the default force fields that you have. Now, as usual, I'm gonna use some sort of fractal explosions in my scene. So for that, I use an add-on called RBD Labs, which is also down in the description. So I've basically been using this sort of add-on for quite some time. But this time I decided to add some sort of more uniqueness by adding some sort of emission at the explosion moment. And then it kind of fades out, as you can see in the screen right now. So that kind of added more details to it. Now I also decided to add some sort of object that influences this explosion. Before it was just some sort of random explosion for no reason, which didn't make any sense, and some of you guys pointed that out. So I decided to add some sort of gold fractal expansion sort of thing, as if some sort of growth is happening from the inside. So I thought that looked pretty good, so I decided to keep that. Now, if you saw my previous animations, you would notice I have these like rocks, which I'm pretty big fan of, because it adds more detail to the scene, and also the main important thing is that adds scale, a sense of scale to the scene, which confuses less confuses the person that sees the animation. So I decided to add these rocks, and yeah. So that's pretty much it. Make sure you check out the video tutorial down in the description, and yeah, thank you for watching.